Hello everybody, my name is Aceface, welcome back to EVE Online. Today I'm going to continue to run some emerging conduits. Last time I was running emerging conduits, I gathered a bit of loot here. So if I select all of this and just highlight it, it'll be 24 mil. I've got actually about 16 million worth of ship modules and mobile tracking and things in here. So it's pretty good ISK, and I'm working my way towards 2 billion ISK from this current goal I have. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm not doing exactly the best today. I was actually, I'm a medical student, so I'm studying a lot. And because of that, I need to get a bit of extra income on the side because there's a lot of I have to do a lot of studying. It's really a lot of studying. And obviously when you're a student, you're not earning money, or at least earning money at all compared to what a doctor would. We're just studying. We're not working as a doctor. So the thing is, I'm currently trying to find a little bit of an extra job on the side. And one job I actually applied to was this transcription job. So what happens is I listen to a text or listen to a speech recording, and then I just transcribe it, so I write out the words of what is being said. The thing is, I applied to this company that was really sketchy, and it seemed to be really sketchy, but I didn't really think about it much when I applied. But then I started getting emails, just okay, start working now. It was like no interview, no nothing, just start working now, and it just seemed so sketchy. And then they were really buttering me up, oh, if you need any help, I can provide assistance, however. And then I was googling online about the company, actually, because I didn't really look up this when I was applying. But actually I found out that many times people would say that, oh, the people from this company, they don't actually pay them, because it didn't make any sense. They started giving me work straight away without even really checking much for me. I just sent my CV and just straight away just transcribed this. It was really sketchy, and many people have been complaining. I didn't see anyone saying that they're a good, reliable company. And I found quite a few people that were actually saying that they've not been paid from them. So I can imagine it must be some kind of scam company. At least they're really trying to be extra nice to get people to sign up for this, because they're very bad with giving out payments. So that's a bit of an unfortunate thing, but I'm playing a bit of EVE Online now to do something more fun from today, because it was a bit of a headache in the morning right here, because it was just such a big transcribing thing I had to do. So we're going to this emerging conduit. We're going to run it and see if we can get some dank ISK from this. So you can get the recent things that we've been dropping are actually these Triglavian sublight telemeters, these things here, triangle conduit data casters. They're then things that are used for the new loyalty points in the DED store to get the Edencom ships, and it's just so dumb. I really just think these Edencom ships are so dumb. Oh, not dumb, but I think the idea is good, but just the way they've executed it is just so dumb. They're so weak. These I don't know, Stormbringer, I can't remember what it's called, but in the Abyss someone did I remember seeing a video, and someone was just trying to shoot some Damaviks in a T1, and they were doing 0 damage or hardly any damage. It's just ridiculous. And you would expect, especially I thought would have expected the Triglavian or Edencom ships to be extra good against Triglavians, but apparently they just really suck so much against them, and they're really expensive. The skill books to use them are just so damn expensive. So it's they're really crap ships. On top of that, it's really expensive to buy them and get into them. It's why would anyone ever use them? It's just so stupid. And all the CCP has to do to solve this is just make the ship stronger. Make the ship stronger. And if it is too blatantly OP, you see that, people in Ezekiel are just abusing them, wrecking everyone, it's really OP, or you're seeing crazy amounts of bounty numbers from sites, then obviously CCP can take a little step back slowly, They don't, but it's just that they're basically almost dead on arrival. Hardly anyone is using them, neither for PvP or PvE, and it's really sad. I would have actually expected them to be extra good at PvE, because PvE, you're against many ships, and the Edencom ships work in that they have this weapon that shoots multiple ships at the same time with one weapon. So it's kind of made to engage multiple enemies at a time. So it would make sense that it's good in PvE, because almost always in PvE in EVE Online you are up against multiple enemies at the same time. As you can see here, I'm against 5 people to just one. So it would make perfect sense that these Edencom ships are good in PvE, especially the Edencom ships are they're really good. They're made specific, the law is that Edencom made them specifically to combat Triglavians, but the damage types they do are EM. And that makes no sense, because if they were made to destroy Triglavians, they would do obviously explosive or thermal, because explosive and thermal resists are the lowest ones for Triglavians. So again, it doesn't make any sense in that regard. You know, what would have made sense is that first of all, they do more damage. Second of all, they do explosive and thermal damage. This would make it so that, you know, there would be really good optimal ships for using in these emerging conduits, where like where they would be like really good. They'll just like chew through them pretty quickly. And also, it would be cool if they made it so that in the Edencom site, so we're in an Edencom minor victory system here. You can see that there are like these Empire sites here, these Edencom staging ones. They should make it so that there's maybe like few targets, but very big ones. For example, maybe like an Edencom dreadnought, or like very tanky, few but very tanky battleships. That would be really good, because it would make sense that like Triglavians would be what's called now a really good sites or good ships to use in these in the Edencom site. So it makes sense, so that you'll see the pro Triglavian people, they'll often go around flying Triglavian ships because of how they'll be more effective, because Triglavian ships in general are really good when it comes to single target things, because of how their weapons just ramp up over time. So I think it would have been really cool if CCP had done that, so that makes it so that like it looks really cool how they're unified. This is something in general I noticed in online that I wish they could improve upon, is that like I really wish it would be easy to, they'd be encouraged to have more like unified fleet. And what I mean by that is primarily skins. Like I wish I could color all my ships the same skin color, or have a similar style, so that I feel like all my ships are like unified. I feel like really a lot of times in EVE Online they're really promoted just to have like bring whatever, or like really non-unified stuff, and it's really hard to make like a group of people look like they're like, it looks like they're unified in some way or another. Another thing is I've seen people asking for is that if we can have like alliance logos to put on your ship, and that is still not happened, even though it's been asked for so long. And that would be just so cool, because you see that, oh, all of them have got the same alliance logo. That would look so cool. But I guess CCP have more important things to do, like, you know, making new actual content to do rather than caring about ship appearances. But I just think, I feel like ship appearance, at least for me, is a big part of why I play this game. Like, this game looks so good, and those are one of the reasons actually I play this game, just because it just looks so damn good. One of the best looking games out there actually, and it runs just so well as well. But it runs mainly well because, you know, it's just ships being rendered. Then you've got an open background, so there's not really actually much that has to be rendered apart from the ships. So obviously it's going to look pretty good because all the ships are where all the detail is. So that is probably why it runs so good as well. As usual, I'm going through the bigger ships first, just in case it suddenly starts, the site expires. We've also got Hospital over here. Let's go for the Hospital after this Leshak is downed. Alright, let's go for this, let's go for this. Actually, we've got too many locked up things. We can actually lock it up just after this. We'll start locking it up because the Damavics take quite a while to lock up since we're in a battleship. Battleships, for some reason, have a really hard time locking up small ships. I don't understand. I can understand maybe the battleship weapons have a harder time hitting the small stuff, but if they have a harder time locking up the small stuff, to me it doesn't really make sense. I understand from a balance perspective, I mean, it makes sense that way, but from like an just common sense perspective, it doesn't really make much sense to me. Like, I can understand, you know, big weapons, they're really bulky, it's hard for them to specifically target, you know, the small stuff, but when it comes to like lock time, I would have expected actually battleships to be even faster, because, you know, battleships, they're like really big. They probably have a more advanced computer technologies in their ship, so they'd probably be able to lock up even better than the small counterparts, or at least, for example, if you're in a frigate, it'll take so much less time to lock up these smaller ships. But in general, when it comes to locking up stuff, smaller stuff takes longer to lock up than big stuff, and I can understand, because maybe it's like a small ship, it's harder to get the targeting focused on it. But I don't understand how the bigger ships are worse at locking, because like if I'm in a frigate, I can lock up this frigate a lot faster than this Rattlesnake battleship, and to me that doesn't make much sense. Okay, let's see now, the hospital. Yeah, let's see, I talk a lot about how the hospitals seem to drop more loot, and it seems like they're always are the ones dropping loot, it seems like. Okay, don't forget to salvage. You don't want any ninja salvages to salvage stuff. It's a very common thing, but I've not noticed actually many recently, and they made me realize that they're not actually, because I've not actually noticed so many people running emerging conduits actually. So it could be a reason why they. Oh, have we run out of ammo? Oh, we've run out of ammo. We've run out of ammo. Yeah, I've been running so many of these sites, I've forgotten about the fact that we don't have any ammo. Actually, we can just split this a little bit, because we've got, I think, maybe we have some. Oh yeah. So we're just gonna have to rely on our drones now, guys. Ooh, we've got quite a bit of. No, actually, this is in my inventory. I was thinking, oh, we brought in 30 mil just like that, but this wasn't the case. Okay, got all these launchers over here. A bit unfortunate that they have run out of ammo, but we can buy some close. This is the good thing about Ambeke. I strongly recommend you guys to run here too, because it would be cool to have some other people running here. Like, it'll make so that I earn a little bit less, but we'll obviously run the sites a lot faster. And it'll also, just in general, I think it'll be cool to have like more people to socialize with in this system here. Ambeke is really close to Jita, so if you have a battleship and want to earn a lot of cash, definitely go. And you're not enemies to Edencom, then definitely I'd recommend checking the system out for emerging conduits, because it's a really good way to like farm stuff here. Alright, empty missile launcher. Also have to keep an eye on our drones. I've lost so many drones to these Triglavians, it's like unbelievable. You probably haven't seen me do that. Only one. I remember actually in my guide for how to run these emerging conduits, I actually was just filming and I just noticed that, oh wait, I lost a drone to actually do that. You'll see it in the video that at one point I do lose a drone. I zoomed in on it. That's pretty funny actually, how I was trying to demonstrate how to run these and then I just lose it there. But it's important to keep an eye, because these things can have tanglings and they can make so that they slow down your drones, so they're going to obviously take a longer time for them to go back to your ship. So you want to be careful, because the Triglavians, they really are deadly. They do a lot of damage compared to at least the normal NPC pirates. Now, their normal NPC pirates like Garistas are nothing compared to Triglavians. They are a whole new level. No hospitals, and there we go. Site is done. Site is done. That was a pretty fast site right there. You can actually salvage everything, because we managed to kill stuff pretty quickly. It seems like I felt like we were able to kill stuff pretty quickly, because it was. We have so many wrecks left because of how maybe because of how fast we did the site. But then again, I wasn't salvaging so much. Half the time I wasn't really paying so much attention, so I could have probably done a little bit better when it comes to salvaging with my manual salvager. But we got salvage drones here, which is really good for speeding up this process now that there's no Triglavians left. Obviously, guys, never take out salvage drones during combat, because the Triglavians will eat your salvage drones alive. Let's grab this 6 mil here. Not that great, but we'll get a lot from the salvage, hopefully. Especially these 0-point field manipulators. I've mentioned this before. These guys are the bottleneck in many of the Triglavian T2 ships production, like the Ikitursa, the Nergal. This is often the resource that is most hardest to come by. So it's like the bottleneck. So this is why they go for quite a big price. You can see here, all these are worth 11 mil. These are not used in production as far as I know. I think they're just a thing you can redeem in concourse stations. But then you got these other things, they're not worth as much. Look at this, 25k, 70k. This is worth quite a bit, 1 mil here, but it's still not at all as much as this 11 mil right here. Let's go and keep salvaging, idling salvage drones. We don't want them to just idle there. Get to work, guys, get to work. Don't slack on the job. It'd be nice if they could have like a... You know how your ships have an auto-aggress, so they automatically aggress you? It would be cool if there was a way to make it so that your salvage drones automatically salvage stuff that is in space. But the thing is, you can actually do that. If I unlock everything and just press in space and then click F, my salvage drones will actually start salvaging wrecks that are belonging to me. But the thing is, they won't salvage so efficiently. They'll all focus on one, and it seems to be more efficient to split them up. So they can't. It doesn't seem like they will do that, which is unfortunate. Maybe actually, if I were to not do focus fire, maybe they'll do that. I actually haven't tried that. Let's actually try that out. Maybe they will not. Maybe they will. They'll not focus fire. Let's return these. See if we turn off focus fire. Let's see it actually. Okay, so we just recall them, and then we take out our drones. And then press F. Look, you'll see here they're going to start salvaging when I press F. They start salvaging. Okay. Let's see now if they're focusing. Okay, yeah. Look, they're here. They are focusing. So it'll be good if when you press F like that they split up, because it seems to be a lot faster if you do like that. Also, salvage drones are extremely slow, so that's also a reason, is that if you have them all focus on one, they're going to salvage them pretty quickly, and then they all have to travel to the next wreck, and that travel time can be reduced if you have them all individually go to one salvage wreck. So you'll have that travel time at least significantly reduced out of the equation. Add our normal salvager here just to add a bit of extra salvage power, and turn back our focus fire, because that's a good thing in combat, because I want them to just die quickly, the NPCs. So that's why I would usually have focus fire here, because if they split aggro, the reps of the NPCs will be a lot more effective, since if we're like focusing on one NPC, then their rep will not be like play as big of a role. But if we're doing, like, say it's repping 50 HP and we're doing 100 DPS, we're doing effectively 50 DPS. But say we're doing, I don't know, 200 DPS and they rep 50, then we're doing effectively 150 DPS. So it's just a lot more efficient to focus them all on the same one, at least to a certain extent. It comes to the point where they rep so little that it's better to actually switch them, because of the travel time of drones will actually be something you have to take into consideration. But the berserkers are pretty fast anyway. Let's see if we got anything more. No, we didn't get anything more from here. Let's grab our MTU. Alright, scoop this. Remove our waypoint, because I don't want to have spam my whole bookmarks with mobile tracked unit waypoint. So we got something from this. Let's see how much it was. I had 24 mil before in my as a loot. We'll see here what we got. 37 mil. Okay, so it wasn't that much. So we got 13 mil from that side, so it wasn't the best. Obviously the loot is pretty variable. We can sometimes get really good stuff, sometimes we not get good stuff, but it wasn't that long either to run the site, so that was pretty good. So that's it for this emerging conduit, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed the little stories I talk about in my real life, and also my little rant on Edencom ships, and just in general these things I discuss about how to run these emerging conduits and the anecdotes I find in doing PvE sites. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.